Hello my friend, I'm Stella and here on my channel we talk about spirituality, magic and how to live our best lives. In this video I would like to share with you my personal experience with water fasting. I was inspired to try water fasting when watching a video of Activation Vibration, the lovely Heather and Victor Odo, so I link to that video. Be sure to check it out if this sparks your interest, because they are very knowledgeable and experienced in this subject. And before I get into sharing my personal experience with you, I just want to say that put in a little disclaimer that I decided to do this because I'm very healthy and I made sure that it's something I can do. I have no health conditions that would prevent me from doing such a thing as water fasting for a reasonable amount of time. And yeah, so if you want to try this, just please use your own judgment, and if necessary ask your doctor, and if it's okay for you to do so, all the things that are hopefully obvious. So I felt really inspired to try this, and I did check in with my guides to see what they would say if I'm ready for such a thing, and physically and mentally. And I received signs saying that it was a good idea and that I was ready for it. And so I planned it a little bit in advance, just so that I would kind of ease myself into it, and already a couple of days before eat a little bit less. I mean, I would, as much as my body felt I needed to eat, but not any unnecessary extra snacks or anything like that. I cut those out. And yeah, I just was more conscious about how I eat, eating very consciously, especially in the week before I wanted to start my water fast. And I feel this really helped me, although it still wasn't easy, to be completely honest and transparent with you. To spiritually prepare for the water fast, I asked my guides before I went to bed, starting about a week before I was planning to do the water fast. I asked them before going to bed if there is anything I need to do to prepare, any beneficial information, because my guides always leave me such helpful messages in my dreams. If that's something that you're interested in doing, if you don't do it already, I have a whole video about that, so I'll link to it up there somewhere. And yes, that's just what I did, and I received guidance, and some things came up already, some things that I know they might be unresolved in my subconscious. I dreamed about those things, and also I was guided to do certain meditations in preparation of the water fast. So if you decide to do this, just trust your intuition and follow anything that you're guided to. And by the way, the whole thing I'm sharing about my experience, that's just my personal experience, of course, and it might be very different for you. And so what I planned on doing was a 3-day water fast, which in hindsight is kind of crazy, because the last time I've done such a thing, it wasn't even a water fast. I believe it was a juice fast, and it was in my late teens, and I'm quite sure it wasn't for the right reasons. I didn't have any spiritual goal with it or anything like that, so I don't know. I don't remember it being such a deep experience. And so that's just something that I now learned, that this is just a part of me that sometimes I get very much in the ego, and that side of the ego that is saying, oh, all or nothing, like do it this way and do it and push through. And that's what I know now after doing the water fast. But before doing it, I thought, yeah, I can do it. I'm pretty badass, so. But what happened was, I was about not even 24 hours in. The thought of doing this another 2 days was really difficult. And yeah, I think partly that's the point, that you just, when you feel hunger, that you just look within and deal with whatever emotions come up and don't cover them up with food. Because to be honest, that's something that I did a lot in the past, and I notice also in others that, you know, sometimes we just don't want to deal with our emotions and then we just eat instead to distract ourselves. So I think it all went perfectly, and that's how it meant to go. So I was a bit grumpy in the afternoon, and I was almost losing faith. Because I was asking for guidance, and I completely misunderstood the guidance. In hindsight, I could see what a beautiful, encouraging message it was. And so to be honest, I felt almost disconnected in the afternoon when I felt particularly hungry, because that was the time that I'm used to eating like a late lunch, early dinner, and so it's only normal, you know. It's probably just when I'm used to eating that was when it was the hardest. And then in the evening I realized, I suddenly understood the encouraging messages I was getting, and I really calmed down. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm really calm now, and I remember why I'm doing this, but still it seems really hard. The thought of doing this another 2 days is just not, I don't like it. And so I came to terms with it. I was like, why am I so hard on myself? I'm doing this the first time, and I'm still happy to continue until the morning. So that would be 36 hours, which is half the time that I initially planned on doing it. And this is so amazing. Like, well done me. Like, this is such an accomplishment, and yeah, I should be proud of myself regardless, and I don't always have to push through. And once I realized these things and told myself these things, it felt really, really good. And so I was at peace with it. And before bed I did another meditation, and in the meditation my solar plexus chakra told me, it was just through inner knowing that I just could feel it vibrate, and then I received the inner knowing that this was part of the lesson, that this not beneficial part of my ego had to dissolve. That I can tell myself, oh, you don't have to push through, even if you promised yourself to do this and now you realize, no, this amount of time is too long for me at this point. I may be ready for this in the future, but right now this may not be the best thing for me. I mean, we always have to listen to our intuition, right? And not then, in that moment, my solar plexus chakra told me that this was the lesson to be learned, that I need to let that part of my ego dissolve, so that I can be kinder to myself, be more generous with, praise and compliments, and acknowledge myself for all the things I do to grow spiritually and also in other parts of my life. And so I was really happy with that message. I thought, well, if this is the message, this water fast was so worth it, and I'm so happy now, and I can go to bed peacefully. So I went to bed and I fell asleep easily. And what happened then is really the most interesting part. As I told you already earlier in this video, I really have interesting dreams oftentimes, and I just know that they are messages from my guides or my higher self. And that night I had a dream of one of my family members, and we didn't leave on good terms. Like we had unresolved issues, and we just didn't say sorry or anything and just went our separate ways. And this was very long ago, so I didn't think it was still on my mind. And on a conscious level, I knew and accepted that he was just doing the best he could at the time. Everyone here is just trying their best, and like I didn't hold a grudge, or at least that's what I thought. And consciously I knew, I didn't blame him anymore. But still, in my unconscious, this was unresolved. And of course, when you think about it, if you leave something like this, if you argue with someone and you just go your separate ways without resolving it, of course that's something that's still heavy on the subconscious. And so I dreamed of that family member, and it was very interesting. I asked him if he would like a sandwich, and he said yes please. I made him a sandwich, and there was even a voice, like a, it was kind of like the voice of my ego maybe, saying, why do you ask him if he wants a sandwich? And I just replied, because I want to. And when I handed him the sandwich, he said, thank you, I love you. And that was just so beautiful. And I said, I love you too. And in the dream, we even held hands and walked together for a bit. And then we went our separate ways, but in peace this time. And after that, I even had another dream, and I saw a woman taking a shower, the kind of shower that is really purifying, and you feel so good, cleansing on so many levels, not just cleansing the body, but just all of your bodies, maybe what I mean. So I just saw this dream, and I just knew, okay, this is something that was cleansed out of my subconscious. And like I said, it was so emotional, and I was so happy and relieved when I woke up, and I felt so much lighter, and it was just beautiful. And so what happened next, then it was time when I was allowed to or I set myself the new goal because 36 hours were up, and so I had some light breakfast, and honestly I was really tired, so I took another nap. And what I dreamed then was even more mind-blowing. So I was dreaming that I was laying on the sofa where I actually lay, and I got up to a sitting position and looked in one of the corners of my room, and there was a 10-11-year-old girl. She didn't look like me at all, but I knew that she was me because she looked like someone who I know was me in a past life. That's just one of my past lives that I'm really sensing and I'm really aware of. And so I just knew, I didn't realize it right away, but after a few moments in the dream I knew, oh, this is me. and the girl was dancing and giggling. And first I asked, who are you and why are you so happy? And then it just came again, this inner knowing, oh, that's me. And that just made me realize that I hadn't just cleansed a part of my subconscious in this life, but in at least one of my previous lives. And probably, I mean, it feels like I have cleaned out some issue in all of my lives that I ever lived. That's how deep it felt when I saw that girl dancing and giggling. And so it's just so incredible what can be accomplished with such a little action. I told one of my dear friends this story, and she said, yeah, it's like a domino, and I think that's the best way to describe it. You just do this, and it just has a ripple effect. It's so beautiful. So that just showed me that these 36 hours of water fasting had such a huge impact on all of my lives. And this is just the beginning, so I will definitely repeat this and do it on a regular basis. I'm not sure if I will do it maybe every 3 months or so. We'll see, but of course there is so much more to clear out. I'm absolutely aware of that, and I feel so much lighter now. And when I think of my family member who I saw in that dream, I can't feel anything negative. All I am able to feel is love. I'm not capable of feeling anything other for him than love. If we are not in contact at the moment, but if I were to see him, I wouldn't be capable of expressing anything else than kindness to him. And I just know that, I can feel that. And I think even in other relationships, I think as a whole, my capability of loving has increased. I am not sure how to describe it, but it just feels so beautiful, and I feel so much lighter. If you have any experience with water fasting, please feel free to share your experience in the comments below. I'm always so happy to exchange these kind of experiences with others who are on a spiritual path. And so if you feel inspired now, I really encourage you to check out Activation Vibrations video as well of the beautiful Heather and Victor, and I'm so thankful for them for putting this information out so that I could find it and have this experience. I'm so thankful. And I'm also so thankful to you for watching this video. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm sending you so much love and light. See you soon. Bye.